Hello, people. Yeah, here's the thing. The saga of my lighting shall continue tonight. I don't think the lighting's that bad at the moment. I don't think the shadows are being too far overcasted. But to be frank about the lighting right now, I just really don't give that much of a shit about it. But, I'm gonna make this promise to hold myself to a level of accountability of the way I present. That next video, I promise I will use the ring light that's in the corner of my room. I will use it. I promise. So, but what I was gonna do today for this video, I'm just gonna eat some food. And this is gonna be just kind of a chill vibe. I'm a bit tired. I'm just in a very chill mood, so feel free to sit down, have some food as well. Tune in, tune out, whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to sit here and eat some food and talk about my recap of my past week, because I've had some things happen and some events, and some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it's in between, and yeah. So sit back and relax and enjoy. Or don't. I don't really care. What? I think the recap I'm going to start with is start from therapy. So, the most recent therapy session that I went to was kind of rough. Because this is the session where we decided that we were going to hyperfixate on my disordered relationship with eating, as we're calling it. Because I am not officially diagnosed. I've talked about this in previous videos. I don't want to unofficially diagnose myself. I'm not Belle Gibson. I'm not going to live my life as if I have an eating disorder until someone tells me that I do. Because I don't really want to, even though, listen, it's a very small platform. No one really watches these videos. So chill, so fine. However, I don't want to abuse or use that platform to perpetuate an idea that is false about myself, and then in turn take advantage of people who are actually going through that struggle. And if I am, and it turns out, we will cross that bridge when we come to it. But so I go in there. First thing that happens is I get a questionnaire and eating. Oh, God, I need to plug my charger in. First thing that happens is I get a questionnaire about eating disordered behavior. About eating disorders. Pardon me. Chucked in my hand. Spend the first part of my little bit before my appointment filling that out. Was kind of a bit scary because some of the traits on there really resonated with me, because it was one of those questionnaires where it's I forgot the name of them. There's a name for them in psychology. It's just the never, sometime. It's like the never, rarely, sometimes, often, always kind of shit, right? And some of the questions were ones that didn't really apply to me, which, you know, filled me with like, it's about like throwing up after you eat. Do I throw up after I eat? No, I don't do that. This is good. Doing videos where I eat also makes me eat, which is good. It just gives me something to like, it just gives me a purpose to eat, which is good. My eating habits has also been better the past week, but we'll cross that in a minute. But basically, yeah, so some of the questions didn't apply to me. So, are you making yourself throw up? Do you go on excessive binging? I don't know if I binge, like, I wouldn't say I binge by the definition of how I know it to be. There are periods where I eat more food than I usually would. I do feel a significant amount of guilt associated with that. Those periods, and then it does lead me to be kind of excessive in working that off afterwards. But I don't know the line of what's excessive. I don't know what I don't know. I don't really know the legalities of binging, so I couldn't really answer that properly. But from what I know binging, I don't necessarily do that. But then there were questions that kind of resonated a little bit more. So there were questions like, do you feel guilty about eating? Do you partake in excessive amounts of exercise? Do you feel that your weight is tied to your value? And there was one question that was a bit scary. There was have you lost 9 kilograms in 6 months? Which I have. And yeah, so some of the questions really resonated, and I can't remember all of them, to be honest. But it was a little bit scary. So I went in, did my appointment, and for the first time, I was really at a loss for words in my appointment. I went in there, and we were talking about this stuff related to eating, and she was, like, trying to teach me how to change my cognitive thinking, the cognitive cycle. So she was referring to the cognitive cycle, which is the idea of how what you think influences the way that you feel, how the way you feel influences the way you act, and whether act influences the way you think. It's just this cycle. Spinning around Kylie Minogue style. So with me, so it can start from an example of, like, when I went to a friend's birthday party and I didn't eat because of the outfit that I was going to wear. I showed my stomach, didn't want to look bloated, wanted to look hot, so I didn't eat the entire day. So I thought that eating was going to make me look fat in my outfit. My thought was, I'm going to look fat in this outfit if I eat. I need to look good in this outfit. And then that results in a feeling of, if I look fat in this outfit, I'm not going to be of value, or I'm not good enough if I don't look as toned in this outfit as I feel like I need to be. And then as a result of that feeling, your action is that you don't eat. And then that influences the way that you think, in a sense of, like, it doesn't necessarily always correlate directly back to something else or continue the cycle. It just, like, in general, the way that you act influences the way that you think. So with talking about this stuff, I can talk about, like, anxiety and depression till the cows come home, because I can kind of acknowledge the irrational, like, cognition, I guess you could say. The irrational cognition in anxious and depressive thoughts. So it's a lot easier to talk about because it feels like it's separate from yourself. But with eating and fitness, diet and fitness, it feels very tied into my personality, because valuing diet and fitness has been a very entangled part into my family for a really long time, and quite a few people in my family really connect ourselves to that idea that pursuing fitness and diet and being in better shape, for some reason or the other, makes you feel more valuable. I think it's, for me, it's always been tied to this idea of being conventionally attractive. And I haven't felt conventionally attractive for a lot of my life. And my self-esteem, what this year's been about, has really been about building that self-esteem back up for myself. It's still really hard, because it's tied in my brain that if I eat like a normal person, or if I don't exercise like to the amount that I usually do, I'm gonna be disgusting and no one's ever gonna love me, which is so sad and so untrue when you speak it out loud. But it's genuinely something that's so hard for me to fight, because the idea of like letting myself go is such a scary idea to me. So when I think about the idea of like changing your thinking around depressive thoughts, or changing your thinking around anxiety, and allowing yourself like to separate yourself from things that cause depression, or giving yourself more things to induce more happiness, or against anxiety, or against depression, or putting yourself out of environments that cause anxiety. That sounds easy, that sounds fun, that sounds great, but when it comes to the idea of like, hey, maybe allow yourself to eat more, allow yourself to exercise a bit less, that scares the shit out of me. Because that would then introduce an idea of relinquishing control, which is what apparently eating disorders are all about. It's about control, and if you can control the way you're perceived via looks maxing your way through exercise and diet, then you're all set. You know what you're doing. You're controlling the way that people perceive you, which I guess has been a consistent theme throughout a lot of my life and a lot of other people's lives. So if you're, like that, like me, ayo, nice to see ya. But I found myself nervously laughing a lot during the span of the appointment. Like, she was just asking me questions that were really questions. She was like, do you feel, like, ugly when you eat? And I was like, do I? Yes, I do. So, and the fact that I'm having those nervous reactions, that involuntary laughter, because I was laughing throughout the entire session because I felt so uncomfortable, it's very much a sign that we're probably pushing in the right direction. But it also shows they have a way to go to get through some mental boundaries and blocks surrounding my relationship with food and exercise. But it's all innately tied into one's self-worth and how one believes they need those things in order to be valuable to people. Yeah. She said she was going to take my questionnaire, look it over, see how to gauge her treatment from here. I need to go to the doctor to get my referral for my other half of appointments. And she told me that I should tell them about what I talk about in the most recent session. So about eating related stuff. My dad also wants me to get this mole checked out on my back. Nudity safety. I'm gonna show you guys. You might not be able to see it. Oh my god, this feels all too familiar, what I'm doing right now. Okay. This makes sense. Okay, you might be able to see it. It's right at the, top of my back here. Is this? Oh my god, I think I'm sunburnt. Fuck, that's annoying. Right at the top middle of my back. No, you won't be able to see it. Fuck, you can't see it. It's really annoying. Okay. Oh yeah, you can see it now. Right in the top middle of my back, you can see a little mole. I've had that for a really long time. My dad said it was a bit red the other day, so now he wants me to go get it checked out at the doctor. I'm sincerely hoping it's not skin cancer. I'm sure it's not. I had a skin cancer removed on my nose one time, and that was quite a fun experience. So, in a way, you could say I'm a cancer survivor. I've just been through so much, really. So, that's my next step. I need to sort this appointment out. And then spill the tea with my GP. And then, yeah. So after that, saw Snow White, which I don't think was as bad as people are kind of putting out to. I know it's like a trend to hate on Rachel Zegler for being Rachel Zegler and hate on Gal Gadot for being potentially a Zionist, but I actually don't know. Like, I know she's from Israel. I don't know if she's particularly anti-Palestine or anything like that. Like, just because I'm from Australia, that doesn't mean I like mining. So I don't know. But maybe she is. I'm not well versed enough on the intricacies of Gal Gadot. Kaleno. I love that though. So, but people were really clowning her and the movie in general. I thought it was okay. I think it's just sternly a very average film with nothing that particularly stands out about it. The only thing that really stands out about it is Rachel Zegler. She's pretty great, which I am actually a big Rachel Zegler fan. And this might be a hot take, but I know people think that she's really annoying, but like, for like showing a certainty in herself and a belief and things like that. And I'm like, God forbid a woman have self-belief and assurance in who she is and in her own talents. Like, because at the end of the day, You can't clock her ability to act or to sing. I don't know about her dancing. I don't know if she can dance. I haven't seen her dance, but she's a very, very talented woman. And also, men have been acting that, like, way, that stuck-up way. Like, Robert Downey Jr. acts that way all the time, and it's considered, like, charming. And so misogyny isn't everything. And that's okay. That's okay, you know. I will do my part as the man that I am to counteract that, which is what I'm doing at this moment. But I think that she's actually... I do think that people are just low-key a bit jealous of her. Like, I'm sure she said an annoying thing from time to time, but also, people are dying, Kim. You know, there's a lot of really bad shit happening in the world, and I think there are a lot worse things that, than little Latina women telling people that they're good at singing when in fact they are. You know? I think there's just bigger fish to fry. Then, I went and hung out with a guy friend that I have a crush on, or had a crush on. And saw the movie Flow, which is outstanding. Not in a lot of ways I can describe. The world was built so well, the animation was beautiful. I loved how it was done with no dialogue. Super impressive. A really, compelling message on, like, kind of seemingly about environmentalism, animals. Love that kind of stuff. Vegan. But, so, that was really good. More than happy with that film. It was really, really amazing. If you're ever wanting to go see something in the cinemas at the moment, Flow is so up there. I don't really consider anything. I've heard Black Bag's good. Haven't seen it. Don't really care to see it, but we love an Australian queen, Kate Blanchett. Love what you do. Blanchett Kate, you're a genius. Is that how Ariana DeBosa's thing goes? But I, loved that. And then that night, after hanging out with this boy that I have a crush on, I texted him saying, "Hi, I'm attracted to you, and I think we have good chemistry, and there might be something worth pursuing there. What do you think about that?" I'm not good. I have very, like, no riz kind of riz, where I don't really beat around the bush. I just kind of say it. Because I'm not good at keeping things inside. They kind of just fester and grow like weeds up until I'm, like, restricted by all limbs, which is just not for me, personally. So, I sent that night, went to bed. In the morning, we got to a message from him where he was like, "Hey, can we talk about this in person?" I was like, "Sure." And there's a video that I made. I don't think I'm gonna I might hook it into the start of this video. I don't know. Where I'm just like, this is either gonna be a chat about what's going on between us, or it's gonna be, like, the longest-winded rejection of my life. So he comes over, and he tells me he appreciates my honesty and my bravery. I'm like, yeah, I know. Pretty great. But he's like, "Unfortunately, I just don't feel the same way." And then he said, however, saying that over text or calling you or something like that to tell you this, it didn't feel like the respect that you're entitled to. And I feel like that you're a really beautiful person who deserves more. And that really resonated and set a new standard for me of how to treat other people. He public transported an hour all the way to my house just to come over and let me down as easily as humanly possible. And that really taught me a lesson in respect. I was like, wow, that's a proper, like, gentle person thing to do. So, I know it's easy when somebody rejects you. I've been rejected a fair bit in my life, so I'm not really, like, mad. But it's easy when you get rejected to be like, "Oh, fuck them. They don't even fucking know me. They don't even know what they're fucking missing out on. This big, fat, juicy ass, these big tits." Like, it's easy to get upset about it. But I couldn't have asked it to go better. And it just showed how much of a beautiful person they are. And I really appreciated that about them. So, yeah. Shout out Victoire. Good guy. Good lad. So, did that. Then I went to a movie night and helped a friend get laid, which is really nice. You know, after you get rejected, it's nice to see some victory in the world. So being able to help supplement two people in the adventures of sucking dick and cock, it's a very nice thing to get to partake in. So we watched Twilight New Moon. We facilitated them to go swimming in the pool together while we watched the rest of the movie. Then when they were getting all schmoozy-cloozy and up close and personal with each other, we said, oh, look at the time, it's time to go. And then I left, and apparently things went very well and very romantically in the night. What does auspicious mean? I was going to say it, but it felt like the right thing to say. I actually don't know what it means. But let's say scandalous, erotic, sultry even. And yeah, so that went apparently really, really well. And yeah, then today I hung out with a friend for a friend's birthday. There was a bit of drama. Somebody cried. They walked off, went on a walk. They've been really pissed. They think we're all racist. And it's a very complicated, long story. I can't get into all the semantics of it all. Like, the person is upset by something that somebody did, and she's blaming all of us for it, which is, you know, she's a victim of somebody saying something ignorant comments to her, and she thinks that we're, like, advocating for that person. If anybody's curious about the situation, it happened, and I was there for the ignorant comment, and I said to the person that that was not cool and that was not okay and that they should not speak like that. So I did my due diligence, at least in some extent. So not to say that I'm not at all racist or have internalized racism, like we all do, but doing my best. But then, apart from that, played laser tag, fucking blitzed it. I beat their asses. That little we got my group that went to laser tag, we got paired up with all the 8-year-olds. And I had no hesitation about shooting those little 8-year-olds right in the chest. Because I want to fucking win. And then my friend came up to me, she was like, are you shooting the 8-year-olds? And I'm like, abso-fucking-lutely I am. Just because you're young and you're, like, that doesn't give you the excuse to prevent me from doing what I need to do and help me maximize my slay. I shot the shit out of those 8-year-olds. They never stood a chance against me. I was fucking owning them. And then I punched a couple of them. Hit them to the ground and spat in their faces. And I said, you'll never amount to anything in life. You're going to grow up and be sad because you're going to be under the boot of people like me your whole life. And then they cried and I sent them home. That didn't happen. Or did it? I don't know. Who knows anymore? But, yeah, so, and then I just got home from that. So we swam at the beach, and then we hung out, talked drama, did laser tag, and yeah. Things have been relatively uneventful. What? Things have been relatively uneventful. I just spent the last 25 minutes yapping on about all the events I had. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But, yeah. That was, like, my week, my past week. It's been ups and downs and stuff, but I'm, yeah, I've been happy with this week and how everything's been. But if you stuck around this long, again, congratulations. I only have made it through, it took me that whole 25 minutes to eat one bagel. But thank you so much for tuning in. There's probably going to be something I forget to talk about. Oh, I'll close it off with this. My time that I've been spending with my friends, not just the friends I have crushes on, but the friends I don't. with the real friends that make you feel grounded, make you feel like yourself, make you feel like your best self, your funniest self, your kindest self. But not just that, just make you feel like your real self. Surround yourself with those people. Don't surround yourself with fake bitches. It's too fucking much. Hey, love you. Bye.